day. Good morning, good morning. Welcome. Welcome to the markets. I'm just reading my information right now. Just trying to figure out where people want to step in potentially. Let's see. I'm looking here. There's options positioned in this large demand. I just don't want to mark it because that's not something we know this is here, but this is not a zone I'm going to look at like this. It's too large. So, I mean, maybe I could do something like this. But options positioning is right in the middle of this candle. So I'm just going to put a line there. Oops. Line there. This area. What else? Yeah, up here. Okay, coming into the day, we are gapped up. We have 15 minutes till open. We're gapped up 20 points, which means the probability is that we go higher, but we've had a long extended move up from this demand on the daily. I'm looking down here at the bottom left. We hit this demand down here and we have just rallied. Now we're gapping up into the originating supply level that started this whole down move. So that could be indicative of an exhaustion gap. We just look at more information, see what's going on. Leading economics indicator comes out at 9 o'clock Central. Oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom for AFK a sec, and yeah, then we'll talk about what we think is gonna happen. Right. Okay, so today, so what I do when I look in the morning, I'm looking at options data. I want to see where call inputs are positioned in the market, and then I take that and I look at what are those levels um, in the price chart. Like, what are the supply and demand areas? Like I said, coming in the morning, we're gapping up into the originating supply that is considered the strongest supply. We don't know if we're going to get a reaction or not, but I believe the odds are for a pullback. Where do we pull back to? There's low volume in this area. So if we take a volume profile tool and take it up the swing, we could see obviously there's some volume gap right there. And that's right below here. That makes a lot of sense. Perhaps some more orders to fill there. Options data is positioned in this green zone here around the 50s to 60s. And also down here in the 20s. I didn't mark this demand because it's too big of a zone. We'll pay attention to that if we get there. And then as far as above us, this is the last supply. So we take this out, then we continue higher. You just have to remember indices go up, right? So it wouldn't be surprising if we go up. As a short-term trading wise, we're really expensive, right? If I had a bunch of money, would I want to keep buying this at this point? No, I would wait until I get a pullback to buy some more. Um, just when you start getting so like down here on the 13th of January, I'm gonna pull up the daily. Down here, man, I that's when you start seeing the Reddit posts, you start seeing the Twitter threads talking about bear market. Ooh, scary guys. Kramer talking, oh my gosh, we're just gonna go lower, guys. And then we do this. And now everybody's excited. All-time highs, they're right there. They're right there. All right, go long. Well, don't get too excited. Let price tell you what to do and execute in the key levels, right? 822. Watching this here. A lot of times you'll have, so you can consider yesterday, actually a very similar day to the day we first live stream we traded here. We chopped in the morning and cash grind all the way up into the afternoon. Top in the morning, we cash grind to the end of the day. Cash grindiness like this, where you just kind of go up and up and up and up, that leaves a lot of orders behind. So I'm really interested in the 60, 70, 60, 50 area to perhaps get something going. But we'll see. A lot of times on short bias. So I look, if you think about, another thing I take into consideration is the day type. What is happening news-wise today? What happened yesterday? What type of day is today? Today's like, I'm not going to get too much into it. But are days like this, following up days that gap up, are they more likely to go down or go up? Well, statistically, they're more likely to go down. We'll be watching to see if we can start creating supply. I mean, we already have. We've started breaking down right now. But I want to wait to market open. I want to see some kind of manipulation upwards before I take a short. So we have a gap up. Normally, gap ups are good. You know, if we have a nice big gap up, that is a good thing. But like I was saying today, we're gapping up after an extended move. We're gapping up into the originating supply, so we shall see. Don't mind me blowing my nose. It's going to happen a lot. Deal with it. Usually we get some more information around. So if you haven't linked below, I've got this site. This is a London trader, and he works with a firm. Posts a lot of great information. Got everything that's going on pre-market today. Nothing crazy that I read, but it's good information to have, and I would suggest checking it out. Buddy said he was going to be on this morning, but we'll see. I have to take Doggy to the groomer in an hour. So if we're in a trade, I'm just going to AFK for an hour. If we're not in the trade, I'll probably just stop the stream and then maybe come back in the afternoon. Two minutes till open. Would love to see off the open here, I'm telling you. Telling you what I want to see. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I want to see us give it a push up for the first 5 or 10 minutes. 15 minutes maybe. Make a higher high into the supply and then get rejected. We will sell if it hits 17. Let's see. Let's see how if this. See what happens here. 8:30. Oh. Push it right down. I said what I wanted to do. I'll sell at 17, but that happened so quick. Let the first couple minutes play out. We created supply on the hourly now. If we look on the hourly, we have like this demand here, but this was created overnight. I'm not too worried about it. My hourly chart's so laggy for some reason. Can you see that? Why is this? This is laggy like this, but I have no issue with other charts. It's just my hourly. Maybe it's the... Let me cut this back. Oh, maybe it was the days. Idiot. All right, getting sucked back up. Let's just watch it and be patient. Like I said, what I want to see. Take out this high. Options are positioned a little bit higher in the supply. Maybe 130. About halfway through the supply. If upwards so another thing I look at is comparing times to like Wednesday. Like other days similar today, whether they have the leading economic indicators report coming out, whether they're a Wednesday after a large cash grind up. I take those days and I see what times are most likely, or what times in the past have shown that buyers or sellers have come in. A common thing to happen is we get a push up like I drew here before we continue lower. But we already started breaking down in this area. So that's why I said I would short 17. It happened really quick. Now I just want to see what happens. I want a better price to short at, basically. I believe in the first half an hour. A lot of times you'll see the first half an hour go one direction, and we'll go the other way. One thing about my trading style is, like I was talking about earlier, I look for large moves in the market. You know, I'm very patient. I will wait all day for that one trade, right? I'll wait all week for that one trade because that one trade will make me profitable. You know, a lot of people get so just, you don't have to trade every bar. You don't have to be in the market constantly. The less you're in the market, probably the better, right? Every time you go in the market, you're putting on risk. You're saying, I'm okay with losing this money. Are you really okay with losing this money? I'm not. I don't want to, right? So I don't believe you are either. Tired today. And you have to think of the day as a whole, right? So if we're coming into the day with a theory that we're going to go down for X amount of reasons, I don't have to be in the first 5 minutes. There's, unless we get one of those crazy days that just drop like a rock, leave you behind, there's nothing you can do about it, right? We want to get in a good price. We want to stay patient. Got some hand warmers. Quite chilly out. Anything exciting? Like I said, today I have to take a doggy to the groomers in a little less than an hour. We'll see if we can get a trade going beforehand. I was talking about before we opened, we're gapping up. Most likely gaps up continue, but hold your horses. We're gapping up into originating supply after an extended rally. Exhaustion gap. Be careful. We can potentially give back most of yesterday's gains. Okay? Do I know that's going to happen? Absolutely not. I'd be the richest man in the world if I did. When I talk about things happening, it's based on price action facts, it's based on option facts, or it's based on statistical probability. There's a greater than 55% chance this thing happens. That's the only. I'm only going to say something if it's a fact, essentially, is what I'm saying. A lot of. One thing I think people miss out on. Let's check these levels out. This cough won't go away. 91. One, 2, 7. Oh, yeah, yep. That's looks like we're where we were watching. Anyways, 66, that's low. What was 60, 50? 91. Down here in this demand. $61. It's in the low volume area. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. Little more information. Ah, she is. They're gonna break down without me. Oh, but just sell and catch it. No, no. I have a very specific rule set. I'm gonna look a push up at 8:45 to 9. I take into account time. I take into account options data. I can take into account price action. Just to, and essentially, if you put it all together, you know, this might add a little probability in that favor. This might take a little probability away. And at the end of the day, what do I have? Like 57% down, right? Based on all the market facts. Choppy, choppy opening morning. Still hasn't broken down. I'm glad. Like I said, I want to see it go higher. I would love to see a peak, get people excited. Or we slam it. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. You never know what's going to happen. If anyone says they know what's going to happen, they're lying to you. Believe it or not. It's at 8:45 to 9. Buying pressure. Oh man, the markets should be boring, right? Unfortunately, um, everybody gets so excited to get into the trade, but if you're not exactly where your rules say you need to execute, then what's the rush, man? Need one good trade a week, one good trade a month. Preferably more than that, but so like we said, looking for a move down 8:45 to 9. Statistically, buying pressure. I would love to see this picture play out where we make a new high, take out the pre-market levels, and then start to break down. But right now we're holding supply. So when I said I wanted to sell 17, I should have sold 17. But I kind of treat the opening candles of the day like a news event because we get an influx of new order flow. Which you can see, we did this pretty wicky candle. So no point in jumping in right when the market opens. Leave it alone. Yeah. Dog's being grumbly. I have a German Shepherd and an Australian cattle dog. They are all cuddled up on my bed. Cold out today. Like I was saying earlier, I've linked down below this website called Trading Edge. It gives you, if you trade stocks, it's really good. They break down different market information, all free, give you pre-market reports, quant levels, which is what I was looking at these two lines. This top one lines up perfectly where we're looking at. On this one, we'll keep an eye out, see what happens around there. But if we start breaking down here, I don't think this demand level here will hold. Because it's overnight also. I think we would like to go lower into this low volume area. So using primarily price action, primarily supply and demand, but also looking at where options are positioned in the market. Because what matters in the market? Doesn't matter if two lines cross over. Doesn't matter if we break out above something else. No. All that matters is where are people interested in executing. Okay. And just to recap, we were talking about how we gapped up. That increases the probability of going higher. But we gapped up after a extended move up. So on the daily, we again stop. Stop. On the daily, we have been going up since down here, and now we're coming into the originating supply level, which is the strongest supply level. So we've gapped up into supply. That is an exhaustion type move. 8:45 to 9, buying pressure is what we said. I would love this picture to play out. We'll see what happens. And otherwise, I'm looking at very specific areas. If price isn't in those areas, there's nothing for me to do, right? I want the highest probability. If I'm going to put my money in the market, I'm not just going to guess, right? I want to see the perfect picture. I want to see it happening. What's up, Josh? Tick. Ooh, yeah, I love the tick. Advanced decline, I think there are uses for it. I do. Um, but for me, the tick is a great short-term indicator. The way I use it is so you have zero, obviously, and you want to mark plus or minus 1,000 or your extremes. 1,000 tick trade. So if we're coming down, or let's say for this picture right here, if we're coming up into the supply and then we hit in the 800s or a high tick reading, that is showing exhaustion, right? Kind of the same thing with volume. If we came up here and had a huge increase in volume, well, that's showing us there's a lot of orders being filled. Where are they getting filled? They're getting filled in supply. I'm going to guess they're sell orders, right? So we'll probably go the other way. Um, I like using tick and a couple, there's like nuances to tick. So, um, some trend days, you'll start in the morning above zero, and around 9 o'clock, you will not be able to get below the zero line. And that is a huge clue that we're going to start trending up. And if any time the tick comes below zero, that's a buying opportunity, right? I think market internals have their use, but just like everything, there's like niche to it. Always have to think outside the box with the tools you're using, and really just sitting there and looking at the charts. I used tick for a long time. I don't use it as much anymore. I mm, for me, it makes me overthink. Um, but if you can set up a clear rule set, it's got really good information. And 1,000 when it hits those extremes, like plus or minus 1,000, that's like that's like a 70% scalp win. Just that in itself. So I think at least for the extreme tick readings, it's worth having because there's some days like I don't know if it actually happened, but you could kind of tell. Like on this day back here, there was probably a tick extreme here, and I bet there was probably a divergence from this level. We probably made a higher high on the tick here. We made a lower low in price, right into some demand. That would have been a trade to execute a buy right here with a small stop and, boom. Oh, we're making our move up. Beautiful. Let's see what happens. I'm going to get rid of this so I could see better. I want to see a higher high. I want to see increased volume, and then I want to see us create supply on the 5-minute chart. Ever since I had COVID, I had this tickle deep in my throat. Just cannot get rid of it. So we do have some room up to like 125-ish, but right now we're in the supply. Let's make this supply. I really wanted to get specific. Right there. Where I'm going to look. But we're in the sell territory. As it is. One thing I work with, adding probabilities, right, is buy low, sell high. But how do you know what is high and what's low, right? And that's where like market ranges come in, like this, right? So if we're at the top of the range, sells are more likely because we're expensive. We're at the bottom of the range, buys are more likely because it's cheap, right? So now we're at the top of our range, coming into an area, coming into daily supply. Not only are we coming into daily supply, we're coming into put levels. Now we're seeing this nice push up, 845 to 9. I said buying pressure. That is just a probability based on similar days. If we go back and look at similar days, buyers step in at 9 or 845 to 9. It just happened. It's just something that happens. Not we don't know if it's going to happen today. We don't know if it's going to happen every time, but there's like a greater than 55% chance it will, right? Slight increased volume on this bar. Let's see what we can do. We're not guessing. We wait until the market tells us. So like I said this morning in the open, I want to get short at 17. I didn't, right? But that was this swing high because we broke down here, pulled back up to supply and went lower. An ABC, right? So right here, boom, is the supply. Right here, boom, is the supply. We came and retested it. We waited. We didn't sell this grind up. We didn't sell when this little red candle formed. We didn't sell when this little red candle formed. We sold when price showed an imbalance, right? Boom, imbalance here. Ooh, okay, I see you. And just all transparency wise, blah, blah, blah. Back here, let's do this. I took this short here. So same picture. We didn't we didn't take anything all morning. We got two sellers up here. The same picture every time, right? Created supply, or we did this, created supply here, retested it and moved lower. So right here, we created the supply that we retested. Right here, we created the supply that we retested. So I shorted there, I just broke even, got out of break even when it continued higher, but that was the breakdown area. So even though you can consider me being wrong on these trades that I've taken recently, I hope you can see that not really wrong, right? We are picking the turning points. We're just not getting the reversal that we're looking for. The reversal that I want to trade. But the idea holds the same. The probabilities hold the same. Buyers and sellers act the same. We're looking for the same picture. We want price to show us an imbalance. And then you might think too, well, I've only taken shorts this whole time. Like, why wouldn't I just go long? Well, I'm telling day trading wise, when you come into the market in the morning, I can't pick where price is at, right? So like, the move long is from down here, right? This would be my trade from here, right? This is the swing. We haven't had any correction yet. I'm trading for the correction. Because also, we haven't pulled back into a significant buy area where I'd want to buy when I was at the desk, unfortunately. This is demand here, but it's overnight demand. I think we want to go a little lower if we do break down. 9 o'clock, 8:45 to 9, buying pressure. Let's see what happens now. If we get a large up bar, towards 26, I would just take a stab at that. Otherwise, I'm going to wait for supply to form. Oh, store today. Did a lot of squats the other day. My glutes are on fire. So I only got about 20 more minutes. Hopefully we can get a trade. I have to take the dog to the groomer, and then I'll be back. So it'll be like an hour. Well, we definitely got part of the picture we wanted. We definitely made new. Ah, didn't make it to 27. Oh, 9 o'clock. Got news, right? Oh, geez. I was like, oh, where'd that come from? News. Slapped it back into the demand. Draw my trend. Looks beautiful. Like we said, with our trends like this, what we're looking at in this. So the market's always in a range, right? This is an up range. We could have a downwards range, or we could have a sideways range, right? It's all a range, right? Boop, 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 boop. It's all the same, right? So, like any range, to add probabilities to our trades, we want to sell at the top of the range, i.e., oops, here, 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 here. We want to buy at the bottom of the range, here, here, here. Buy low, sell high. That's adding probabilities to your trades in the simplest way, right? The cheaper price gets, the more likely demand is to step in. The more expensive it gets, the more likely sellers are going to step in. The hard part is figuring out what kind of range are we in currently. Because it's always changing, right? So for instance, here, hang on, this is a daily. Right here, we went in a sideways range. I considered it like this. So we were selling here, we were buying here, right? Broke down. Boom. Now we're in a downwards trend. Boom. Okay. Like this. So down here, we're looking for buys, right? Because we're very cheap. Come back up and we're looking for sells. Interesting. We adjust it because we went lower. But then what are we doing here? We're looking for buys. What are we doing here? We're looking for sells. What are we doing here? We're looking for buys. Looking for sells. Boom. Something changed. you could figure out the perfect, not the perfect, if you could figure out the current um, market range, ooh, it's a huge advantage. Checking some. So some of the options I use is the SPX options. I look at the SPX options. Um, because it's just the cash version of futures, right? They work off each other. Still grinding higher. I don't like that news candle. See if we can make it a little higher. But really, I'm going to sell if we start breaking down. This is just a waiting game at this point. I'm going to have to get going in like 10 minutes. I hope it shows us a signal. When's our next time? 9:07 right now. Huh. Gonna wait for a sign. A lot of people focus on individual candles, what this little price movement's doing. Oh, it's going up. It's going up. Oh, it's going down. Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. There's a lot of randomness incorporated in these bars. Um, that's kind of hard to deal with, right? That's why we're only looking at probabilities. We're only looking at statistical facts. Pushing higher, pushing higher. Morning rally. This is what the picture we wanted to see. See where it pushes us. What do you guys use to trade if anybody's there? Do you use price, options data, indicators? When I started, I think everybody does, but I think indicators are always the go-to. But after a little bit of time using them, you quickly realize you're always late to the party. I don't like being late to the party. I like arriving fashionably early and having fun the rest of the night. It took me a long time to understand what price is telling us. Price is showing us imbalances and factually where large players are in the market, right? Let's take this daily chart for instance. Okay. This level down here, let's cut this off. Okay. We formed this demand on this up candle. Now, in order to judge the strength of price action, we have to see the result of it, right? So we don't know how strong this demand is until it shows us. So over here, we're like, holy crap, this demand level was strong, right? Not only, let's see what it did. Let's investigate. This form demand here, boom. Okay, we broke this high. We broke all this supply here, went all the way up here, pulled back about 50%, made a new high. So this demand down here is significant, okay? And you think it's any coincidence where we found significant buyers again? No. They told us, they showed us there was an imbalance of buyers in this area. Right here. They showed us. When we come back down into it, boom. So price is showing us these imbalances way ahead of time. You can't hide your executions, right? If I want to get long a million contracts at that level, price is going to show that, and price is going to show the imbalance. I've got a couple more minutes. I'm going to probably run for a few, and I'll be back. Be really upset if I miss the trade. Well, I'm gone. Coming up to our 127 level. Options position there. I ripped my callus off the other day. Shit hurts. All right, so remember, we're at the 127 level. 140. This up here. Yeah, I'd say here. Sellers possibly. I'm thinking a down day to give back most yesterday. But right now, we're just gonna wait. And I gotta take the doggy to the groomer. I'll be back in about an hour-ish.